Okay, so here we are, and we're going to sculpt our grip here. You'll notice I have my layer on, and I am in my subtool for my grip. What I'm going to do is use some selections and some masking to get the grip in here. So I'm simply going to hold down Control and click and drag, and let me get the correct type of alpha here. I'll do alpha 28 because this is a full white all through it. And now when I click and drag, I can create these lines. So I'm basically going to create almost like a tennis grip handle here. So each one of these areas will be a separation. And if I see an area that I need to strengthen, I can go back to it. I can also go in here, and if I hold down Control on this and click, it will blur my selection. And if I hold down Control and click here in the open area, it will inverse my selection. So you have a lot of different controls over what you're doing to it. Also, if I were to change my alpha to something like a pattern and holding down Control, it will actually drag that pattern over the object, and then I can make my modifications with these areas blocked. So this is initially what I'm going for is just sort of a grip. So I put in my lines, I'm going to inverse my selection, and I'm going to use deformation to make these areas go inward. Okay, so now I go down to deformation, I go down to inflate, and using the slider here, I'm going to drag it and make these areas go in. Okay. So also, if I hold down Control H, it will hide my masking, just like Photoshop. Okay. And that's really nice if you want to just see what your object looks like without all of the other, without the masking on it. So if that's good enough for my grip there, I'll go ahead and use that. I can use Control, Shift, and A to get rid of my masking. And now I can select an alpha that will appropriately give me some bump or some different kind of surface details. So I'm going to go over here to alpha 20. I've got my drag rectangle on, and now if I click and drag on there, I can just add this surface detail so it doesn't look so straight out of the box, smooth. Kind of looks like it's got some wear and tear in it. Okay, again, I use my orthographic snapping, and I'm just adding some surface detail wherever it looks like it needs it. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're using masking to make our initial selections. Then we're using deformations, particularly inflate, and we're pulling in these areas here, here, and here. And then I'm just using my regular old alpha brushes to drag in some detail using the drag rectangle brush. When I'm done with all that, I can take a look at how that looks with my other objects, and I can see it looks pretty good. So what I've done is add detail using masking.